Greetings everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Challenges Guide. Now, for those who are new here, or those that need a bit of a refresher, the Weekly Challenges are a set of these 5 challenges here that go live Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on your region. These usually consist of 4 races that can already be found within the game, and depending on your progress, may need to be unlocked, while the 5th special event is usually one that can be a race, time trial, or a mission challenge. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We begin with the Sunday Cup. This, of course, is a 5-lap race, and this takes place around the less utilized Northern Isle Speedway. Requires a road car, and your suggested performance points is 380. You don't really need anything overpowered, as easy as this is. And so the car I'm going to choose is something that barely goes over it, and that's this Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint that I've already built previously. No highlights required, as it really is that simple. Foot to the floor, depending on car choice, and stay to the top. The AI tends to stay pretty much merry to the bottom line there, so all you gotta do is just put on the throttle, stay to the top, and you can get around these cars pretty easily. Now, of course, depending on the car, you'll also want to watch how you enter that high line, though, so you don't scrape the wall, which is especially important if you don't want to lose control. Next, European Clubman Cup 600. It's a 5-lap race at D-Force Raceway Reverse, and of course requires a road car from following countries here, and suggested performance points is 600, so that's what you need if you want any chance to win here. And I'm going to use something I haven't used in a while, and thanks to a handling breakthrough, I now will pass this Lamborghini Gallardo. So, here's the set that I'm using, maybe it'll work for you. And here is the lap for this place. So what I found here is you on the pole there, you go through 1 and 2. As a precautionary measure, a mid-engine car, I tend to downshift to about 5th gear, float it through, and then down to 4th, first, through turn 5, then onto the throttle, all the way, next power, through the tunnels as well. And the way this thing kind of winds through, you can actually see it a little better in this direction. So it's better to station yourself up this way. So we're right about at the end of the tunnel there, turn 9. Gently on the power here, 3rd gear. Don't go 4th, just hold that as you get through 10, and through 11 and 12, and there's that little green patch to the road there. Brake 2nd gear, and hold that roll until you power right on over to 14. I tend to hold it in 3rd gear here, just to float the car a little bit and keep some momentum. You get fully on the throttle right on here. You can use all that curbing on the outside if you need to. And then right about there to turn 18, 2nd gear, power right on out here. And that is a full lap around Deep Forest Raceway Reverse. And now, on to the race itself. So with this, quick tips include the ideal passing zones in turns 3 and 4, the backstretch, and 10 through 13, which I found those pretty ideal to do. Be aware of the AI's mid-corner braking through turns 1 and 2, 10, and 14 to 16. If you're going for a clean race bonus, this is probably going to catch you off guard, so just be aware of that. Next, the first of 2 World Touring Car events, this one the World Touring Car 600. It's a 5-lap race at Autodromo de Interlagos, 600 performance points or less. Now that is an actual limit, so you can't go beyond 600 performance points. The car I'm going to use is something that I tend to outperform the more powerful cars with, and I just like driving it anyway. So here we are with the Hyundai Elantra Air. And I'm going to show you the laps around here that I really did. So here we are, down the straightaway there. And here, I'm going to brake all the way down 3rd gear, then we get to the Senna S. Go to the left there, fully on power here, and use that curb usually, that will turn your car pretty well through Curva del Sol. So you're on there full power. And we're coming up right here into the Seaside del Lago. So you want to brake right about there at the 100 mark. Third gear. Power right on out to the curb there. And again, use the curb to turn the car more. It tends to be my go-to. And then start braking right about here. I go fourth gear, 3 to 5 to the first half of this side of the Lago. And then especially in the second half. And then I look down the 3s in there. I do 8, excuse me. And then 9. Power right on out. Then go here down to second gear through Pico del Pato. And then power right on. The very durable, I guess I say it. And then Junka. This is a very tricky one. I did do it in second gear just for rotational purposes. And then power right on out. That curb usage there could slow you a bit. So you're just pretty much powering through here. This is where if you have a car that doesn't have the power of the others, you're going to want to do a lot of blocking during the race here. Anyhow, that is a full lap around Interlagos. Now, onto the race. Let's see what we can do. So, the quick tips for this one. Your ideal passing zones are the Sena S, the Seaside del Lago, Curva del Lago, Murgujo, and Juncal. I found those to be the ideal spots to get by the AI. It's also worth noting that lots of time are lost by them through the second half of the lap before the front straight, so take advantage of that before those high-power cars get theirs back. The second World Touring Car race is a World Touring Car 800. 10-lap race with 9 times fuel use, 8 times tire wear at Dragon Trail Seaside Reverse. Now this 800 performance points or less consists of Group 3 cars, so technically you can use them. But as I'm about to prove, you also don't have to use them, as I demonstrate with this BMW McLaren F1 GTR here. And of course, let's take a lap around here and see what that is like. So, coming down here, this will be the final corner of the other way, but this is turn 1. So we're very tight, and then power right on out this curve here. You gotta go under this tunnel here. And set yourself up for the chicane of death here. Down to 4th. Hit those curves, power right on. And hit the curves again. Now be careful when you take that one, because that could excel the car. And of course, brake right out here at the 50 mark and go all the way wide first gear. And this will allow some better rotation to here. So get on the power through 7 here. And 8, as a precaution, I tend to downshift first. Power through here. And then 4th or 3rd, as I'm doing, just for rotation. And then back on the power. 11, and then right at about the 100 mark, brake for turn 12, onto that curve a bit, now right on out to here, 13, careful how you take that curve, of course, another place you can upset the car, as well as right here, 15 and 16, you don't want to take too much curve, but just enough to turn the car if you want, power right on out, and you got all this straight away in front of you, pretty much. And that is pretty much a lap around Dragon Trail Seaside Reverse. Now, let's get to the race itself. So, the tips here, your usual, racing mediums being the optimal tire choice for the start, softs for the finish. So one stop is the dominant strategy here. And if you're going to do that, you're going to need to do the short shifting. That's highly recommended for that. Fuel map 1 is also viable if that's more your thing there. But that's basically the ideal techniques here. One stopper, start on mediums, finish on softs. Pretty much the perfect strategy to make this race work for you. And then finally, the special event or special race this week, the Ferrari 296 GTB 1 make. 7 laps around Yas Marina circuit, a track that's been appearing very often. And what else? The 296 GTB. So, all there is to grab your 296 here, and we go right on to the race. And now I will demonstrate the lap in my pretty much 296 challenge build car. So here we are, coming out of this final sector here. This is going to be very important at the end of the lap. So, we get on, past this finish line here. And so, we come up here, turn 1, brake all the way to 2nd gear, that curve there. Accelerate right on out here, go through turn 2, and take about as much of that line and here as possible. I want to use that to turn the car as you accelerate there. And get the wheels touching there. You know you've done it well when you go to go do that. Heavy braking right before the 50 mark. Get to 2nd gear, rotate through turn 5. Accelerate right about here. Get it nice and straight. This is one of 3 little straightaways in this circuit here. Now we can get a whole lot of speed. So brake right about the 150 mark. The 2nd gear, turn 6. I tend to usually go over these curves here just because it cuts the distance of the corners there. Obviously, be careful with that curve also. That will actually spin the wheels. So we'll keep that straight enough. We'll come up here and brake right about where that shade comes on for this car here. And we'll rotate that and accelerate right about here. You have all that curve right there to keep the car off the track. We'll come through this section here, turn 10 and turn 11, brake. Right before turn 12, turn in by that point. Then through 13 and 14, keep it very close on this section. Very close here, and begin accelerating right there past that line. Roll on there. And keep it in 4th right here, and just sail it in around here. Out to the curb, keep me on the track. 2nd gear right there. Accelerate right here. And that is a lap around Yas Marina. Now, on to the race itself. So, to get around in this race in particular, not too many things to remember, but to keep in mind, ideal passing zones are turns 1, 3 through 5, 9, and 12 through 16. Found these to be guaranteed safe passing zones with minimal interference. Now beware of the AI's early braking in turn 6 and sketchy lines through turn 9. 6 obviously going to brake very early, so watch out for that. It seems to happen no matter what car. And of course, turn 9, by the way they slide out. So that is it for this week. Whether you hope you enjoyed it, whether you just logged in, or you haven't logged in quite some time. So, if you do like this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can be notified when these go up. So, that is it for me. I will see you guys in the next video.